Every child of God has his season. Right about now, it's all
check it. It seems as if just yesterday I was doing polling, surrounded by jokers who couldn't do nothing.
Welcome back. We are live in the studio. It's Proven Wrong night once again, and I am happy to be in the studio. This time I have a guest, y'all. Clap it up. Yeah, we got a guest tonight. See, I was trying to throw a bone to my producer. He missed it, boy. I lobbed it up there to him. He wasn't ready. I thought he was going to give me the clap applause button. And, we trying to do something. There you go. He got the applause button. So we live. We just to let you know we are live tonight at the We Believe studio, We Believe TV studio. Tonight I have a special guest. I've known this young man since he was probably about 16 years old, and he's out there doing some things, and he is proving people wrong. So tonight I want y'all to welcome my guest, brother Jason Hathorn. Show him some love. Yep, Jason is in the building. Welcome, man. Welcome, man. Listen,
I was looking around for the special person.
I know you that special guy, man.
Oh, okay.
You that special guy. We go way back, and
like 4 flats.
Yep. And so look, I like to bring folks on the show. The Proven Wrong show is all about sharing your story. So this is no form of fashion. I tell people all the time, this is a platform to be able to share your story, and it comes from the whole story, the whole premise of Proven Wrong is from the story of Joseph in the Bible. When Joseph, the Bible says he was a 12-year-old that dared to dream and believe God, and God changed the nation because this boy Joseph had a dream. He followed his dream, and the end result was a whole nation got saved. And so I like to have people on the show to be able to share their testimony, so folks can know, hey, what was your dream? What did you do, and how were you as a kid? How were you as a teenager? How were you as a young adult? And where are you in that progression in reaching your goal? How have you proved folks wrong along the way? What were some of the obstacles in your life? Because just like Joseph had a dream. The Bible says he was 17, and at 17 years old, but his dream didn't come to fruition until 20 years later. So from 17 to 20, he went through some stuff. I mean, 17 till he was what, 37? He went through some stuff, being sold out by his own family, gone into prison, lied on by Potiphar's wife, going to prison. He went through a lot, but in the end, we know what happened. So welcome, Jason. Tell us a little bit about yourself. I know you ready to talk already.
No, it's funny that you say what you said about going through a lot of stuff, because I've learned that adversity makes me stronger. I think it makes everybody stronger. Mm-hmm. And don't get me wrong, I don't like it.
No,
I don't like it. It don't feel good. But it's a reason why, and I've been saying this, it's a reason why your muscles have to be broken down to be building up stronger. Mm-hmm. And that's how life is. You have to go through some things to make you stronger. Yeah. Like,
but hold on. How old were you when you first realized that?
My age now, 33.
33. So I met you when you were 16.
Yeah, you did.
All right. So you're 33 now.
Yes, sir.
All right. And 16 and 16 is what? 30.
16, 16, 32, yeah.
Right, come on now. Show that profile education. Come on now. Show that profile education. 32.
Yes, sir.
So I've known you at least 18 years. Right?
Yeah.
And so, but also you said you're 33.
Yes, sir.
What happened to Jesus at 33? This ain't Bible trivia, but
no.
He was crucified.
Oh,
at 33.
Yeah. Oh, I was about to say he went about his father's business, but thank you for helping me out.
He was crucified.
He was crucified.
He was going about his father's business at 30. And at 33, they crucified.
Wow.
But also at 33, he was resurrected. He got up.
Ain't that something?
So you might be going through some stuff. But there's gonna be a resurrection. Come on now, come on, boy. Oh, look here. I'm trying to give you some hope.
You trying to give me some hope? I believe.
Hey, that's what Dion said. I believe.
Yeah, I believe.
So we want you to share your testimony, man, in no formal fashion. Kind of just start. You know, you say you're 33, and where did you grow up?
I grew up in West Jackson.
Okay,
Westchester Hills, to be exact.
Where?
Westchester Hills and some of the sub too, because my grandma, you know, I was over my grandma's house a lot.
Okay, all right. And so you went to Provine High School. That's where we met.
Yeah, I went to Provine.
Okay.
Get on the bus, get on the bus, get on the bus.
That's it. You remember anybody that ever went to a school that had Young Life? They always, I see them in the store, in the Walmart, the mall. Hey, that's them. Get on the bus, get on the bus. Yeah, that's me. And I still do it. Sometimes I just do it just to make people laugh. Get on the bus, get on the bus. Yeah. That's right. Young Life Club YL kicking off this Wednesday. Come on out to Club YL, see what all the hype is about. Basketball, volleyball, pool tables, ping pong. And guess who's going to be at club? Your mama. That's right. Your mama jokes. Come on out and see who has the best Your Mama jokes. And so it was fun. You guys heard it over the intercom, and it got you to come.
Yeah.
And so, you know, and like they say, the rest is history. You came, you went to camp, you had a great time, and and you and I are still friends. And so, what year did you graduate high school?
08.
08. All right. So, you've already had your 10-year reunion.
Mm-hmm.
And so you hadn't had your 20-year reunion yet, have you?
No, I haven't. I ain't. Don't rush my age. I'm already shooting up there.
So what are you doing now?
Currently, I work at a prison.
Mm-hmm.
I work at a prison. I'm a correctional officer currently.
Okay.
And the dream that I'm chasing is to be a comedian, but I'm actually thinking it's bigger than that. Because I was at therapy today. I go to therapy. And she was telling me your gifts. She was talking about, guys, bless you with the gift. He put an imprint on you. And I was like, maybe I'm thinking too small with this comedian thing. I like to bring joy, or I like to have fun. So I like to bring joy to people. A lot of times I'll pull up to get some food or something, and I'll be playing some James Brown or something. I know somebody to get it, and this one was like, you didn't know how bad we need this. And I sell a joke. Like I said, today I went to Crumbles Cookies. You familiar? And you know, I knew this was gonna throw him off. He was like, well, that's 15 and I was like, I looked at him dead serious, like, y'all accept food stamps? And the whole store cracked up. It was funny because you never thought of that. But I'm thinking, like, at the same time, technically cookies are food, so can you sell food stamps?
Cookies are food, so
they bread, right? That's food.
So you've always, but you know what? It's funny because you going into comedy now and you pursuing it. You know, you pursuing it. But even when you were in high school, I remember when you were part of Young Life in high school, you wanted to make people happy. You wanted to, but that also became a curse for you. Talk about that.
Well, it became a curse because I wasn't being myself. When I was young, I always got criticized for I was too hype, too hyper, too this. So I got pushed away from my friends and family. And I always wanted to be loved and accepted. So it caused me to be what I felt I needed to be accepted instead of being myself.
Right.
So yeah, that is a curse. Speaking of me being hype, I like to tell my story because there's a lot of people out there with mental illness or things going on. They understand. When I was young, they gave me ADHD. So
how old were you when you got diagnosed with ADHD?
I was real young. I was like in elementary. I can remember like it was yesterday, running through the halls like pew, like you would have thought I was on the track team, running through the halls and just being real amped and not being able to focus on certain stuff. But it's life. It's how God made me. I didn't pick it. I'm just dealing with it.
Okay. Know? And so, but how has that diagnosis as a young person, and now you're 32, 33 years old, you've accepted it now.
Well, now they say it really was bipolar disorder. You know, because both of them are very similar.
On,
yeah,
it was ADHD. They probably didn't test you for bipolar because you were so young.
Exactly.
All right, and so, but you still, that means you were misdiagnosed as a child.
Correct.
Misunderstood as a child.
Correct.
And so, talk to the viewers, talk to the folks about what it was like, because there are a lot of young folks out there that's being misdiagnosed, misunderstood, but they didn't have or don't have a Young Life program to go to. They don't have a church to go to. You know, I talked to a woman today. She's got 2 students that's exceptional education, and she getting a check for them. She said, I got to go get my other ones tested. You know, and a lot of these parents use that to get that check versus really caring about that child. See, you got diagnosed at an early age for ADHD. Were you put in special education classes? I
wasn't.
I didn't think so. So, even though you was misunderstood, you was dealing with this. I know you had both parents at home back then too.
I did.
Yeah. But there's a lot of young folks, like in this lady's case, she's raising 4 children by herself. They're staying in a hotel right now, looking to get out. All kind of family drama, all kind of stuff that's going on at home. So everybody has their hurdles and their challenges to overcome. You know, in your case, you had a hurdle and challenge to overcome. You overcame it. You're proving folk wrong. You know, because what did folks think was going to happen to you? Talk about that.
So,
what were you told?
So when I was young, as you know, Mr. G, I was a mother's boy. My mother kept me close because when I was 3, I had a boat accident. And after the boat accident, I was in a coma for a while. I actually was one of those kids in a wheelchair where you had to, you know, you got to carry them around and they can't do nothing for themselves. They just lay there. You know, you've seen them kids. And thank God I came out of it. But ever since then, like, my mom was very protective of me. Overprotective, yes. And my mom will say this.
I think I had to really convince your mom to even let you go to camp.
Probably so.
When you were in high school, because she was still overprotective.
Yeah, so she became, because of that overprotection, she became an enabler. So she wouldn't let me do some work. Some of my work she'd do for me in school. She wouldn't let me do certain things. I wasn't able to, because not only am I the baby, I'm the youngest. I was the baby that, like, you know, my brother and my dad was in the boat accident too. I think my dad got a metal plate in his head, if I'm not mistaken. That's what he told me. And my brother, I think he was fine, but I kind of got the short end of that. I got the worst part of that. I was in a coma, and then when I came out of it, from 3 years old, you had to reteach me everything from 3 years old. It's almost like I was reborn. Born again. Yeah. So I grew up, man.
There you go, that Jesus analogy again. Born again. You had to be born again, even at 3 years old.
Yeah.
And now you're 33, so 30 years later.
And my name started with a J. You see that? So it's funny, the parallels. So everybody, I'm talking about my mom fixed my plate, everything. So all my kinfolk was like, that boy ain't gonna be this, that boy ain't gonna be that. He gonna be not able to do anything. You know, he gonna always be dependent on you. And what's funny, I graduated college.
From where?
Jackson State University.
Shout out to JSU.
I believe.
All right, what year did you graduate JSU?
13.
All right.
13.
All right.
So I graduated there, and funny, I was dating this girl, and she worked at the prison, and she told me to apply for the federal prison. So I applied, and I ended up getting a job. So I done had the job for 9 years. I done been, like, staying by myself. I forget how long. Staying by myself. I pay my own bills. So how I proved people wrong was, oh, you thought I was gonna be a baby, a mama's boy forever. Nah, I pay my own. Not only that, I'm chasing my dreams to be a comedian. I done got on several stages. I done several things. So how I proved them wrong was they thought I wasn't gonna be no good. You know how it is. The mama's babies, oh, they always up on the mom. And now I actually have helped my family tremendously.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I take pride in that because it was hard, man. It was rough. It was hard.
I know some of it because, you know.
Yeah, you were there.
My phone number is still the same.
Yeah.
And you feel free to pick up the phone. And I appreciate that. I'm glad that you see me in a way that you feel like you can call me and ask me questions and you listen, you know. And that's what I'm proud of, because you listen. And you are chasing your dreams. But I did know that about and some of the other stuff you hadn't even hit on yet. But we have time. It's an hour-long show. But even being the baby, being this, being that, you were hated on even by your own brother.
Yeah.
You know, but Joseph was too, because he was the baby. He was the baby of the family. And so you need to read your Bible more. Joseph
slid that in there. I like that.
Yeah, Joseph was the baby. He was hated on by his own brother. But just like Joseph went through and he became second in command of the whole nation. So he saved his family. And I know you went through some stuff. Your dad passed, you know, and your mom and everything readjusting. Your mom's still living, but readjusting with doubt that you called your mom a gold digger. I didn't.
It was a joke.
I know it was a joke. But like I said before, all jokes have some truth to it somewhere. And,
okay, hold on.
But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But anyway, what I'm saying is the dynamics changed
Yes,
when
sir.
your parents divorced, when your parents went through that, when your dad died. Dynamics changed.
Exactly.
But who comes to the rescue but the baby?
Yes.
The baby boy. The one who they said wasn't
gonna be nothing.
Exactly. You've proven folks wrong.
Yeah.
And you've been a blessing to your family.
I have.
That's what this show is about. This show is about telling your story and your testimony. See, in Genesis 37, Revelation 12:11 said they overcame by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony. And believers don't want to share their testimony. And so that's what this show is about, sharing your testimony. See, if I wouldn't pull that out of you, people wouldn't know. Yeah, you got picked on, you got this, your older brother picked on you, your older brother did that or whatever. But in the end, who bails the family out? The guy that you said wasn't going to do nothing. That's the same thing happened with Joseph, man. And it's coming out now. That ain't why you on this show.
Yeah.
It just happens to be coming out now. Yeah. And it's a revelation for me and for you. Mm. You see what I'm saying? And especially now at the age you're at. It's not that you've arrived, because I hadn't arrived. We ain't there yet. I'm not as high as I want to be. I'm still striving, even at 58. Okay. I still got some more mountains to conquer. You know what I'm saying?
I understand.
In the same way with you, but from where you've come to where you are, even like you said, you've been on that job as a corrections officer 9 years. And I knew there was a time you wanted to quit.
I still do. It's funny because we come into like bipolar. Let me just explain.
Go
bipolar.
Ahead.
You do have high manic episodes and you do have depression. Now, everybody's different. Everybody's experiences are different. Mine, I have high manic episodes when I get really hyped. It's kind of like, this is an analogy. It's kind of like holding something down. When something irritates me, it's like, oh, it starts and then it gets bigger and bigger and boom, then I explode. So the reason that's funny, I'm a bipolar. I got bipolar and I work at a prison. And the prison is way irritating. So just imagine me holding that together for 9 years. I think I've done, especially looking at statistics, I'm not supposed to hold down a job. I'm not supposed to be good with money. None of that. So I've proven a lot of stuff wrong. And I ain't trying to toot my own horn.
No, that's not what you're doing.
This is basically what statistics say. And I've defied those odds.
Right.
And I'm proud of myself for that.
So help the audience out there. What would you say has allowed you to defy the odds? Because you've defied the odds. You've been on that job much longer than folks expected.
Yeah.
And you ain't hung nobody, you know.
Yeah, I ain't
you
whooped
hadn't
nobody.
allowed that hype to cause you to choke an inmate.
True.
That we know of.
Yeah, I would never choke an inmate. But all seriousness,
what would you give the what would you say has
funny.
allowed you to go to make it this far?
What's allowed me to make it this far?
Mm-hmm.
It's really, and all glory to God, of course, because He created me.
Yeah.
But I think it's the way He created me. Because, like, it's just who I am. I just want to be able to take care of my responsibilities and take care of me. And by taking care of me, this is what I've learned. By taking care of yourself, you taking care of others.
Yeah.
Because if you don't take care of you, you become a burden.
Say that again, bro.
And when you become a burden to people, you really doing them a disservice more by being a burden and not helping yourself than you would trying to help them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true. I told my wife, I said, I hate to hear folks say, you ask people, how you doing? Oh, I'm blessed. I'm blessed and highly favored. No, you're not. Because if you're blessed, you'll be a blessing to other people.
Exactly.
Just like what you said. But if you're not a blessing, you're a burden. Stop telling people you blessed, but you're a burden.
Yeah.
Try to get blessed. Try to be a blessing to other people. Then you can say you're blessed. But when you're a burden, man, I hate. Get out of here. You ain't blessed. You're a burden.
Yeah.
You know. And so I'm saying that for a while. You know, it was like a revelation that I'm like, no, you ain't blessed. You're a burden. But like you said, being able to take care of you, then you can take care. It's like when you're on an airplane and they say when the oxygen mask comes down. Put your mask on before you put the mask on somebody else. Because
you putting on somebody else, then you pass out. Now they mask ain't on, right? Mm-hmm. Now it's two people passing out. Right. Instead of when you can just put your stuff on, okay, I'm straight, I can breathe. Mm-hmm. Now I can go through the necessary steps to make sure they're all right. Mm-hmm. Versus, let me hurry. Now you're panicking, more air is coming out, and you done passed out. Right. Yeah. Let me pay my bills, then I can see if I can help you. Exactly. Because listen, you said it. Let me put some gas in this tank, and then let me see if I can come over and help you. If I ain't got enough gas, I'm sorry. Right. Because we both gonna be pushing on the side of the road. Exactly. And here's the thing. I love helping. And I had to learn to say when I can. Mm-hmm. Because sometimes I can't, but I can do what I can. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing, knowing your limits. Exactly. Knowing your limits, I think, is one of those deals that have helped you prove people wrong as well. So when did you decide, Al, we got a minute, and then we're going to come back into when did you decide to go into comedy? Okay. Because we got about a minute and a half before we go into a commercial break, and I want to give you all the time you need. Hey, listen, if you want to be a guest on the Proven Wrong Show, hit me up at vgordonyl@comcast.net. Let me know your story. I'd love to have you come share your testimony because it's going to be a blessing to somebody. And if you want to call in, the number right here on the screen, you see it right there. If you want to call in, because we are live, you can call 601-863-9877. That's 601-863-9877. And talk to us. Let us know what's on your mind. You might be a classmate of Jason and knew him back when. And so now you're seeing him now, and he's proven a lot of folk wrong, even some of your classmates, There it is. So we're excited. We got a commercial coming up. We want y'all to tune into this commercial, and then we'll be right back in about 10 seconds, 10, 15 seconds after the commercial. Once again, hit me up at vgordonyl@comcast.net. And tell me your story and how you've proven folks wrong. Your testimony can be multiple things. And especially if you're as old as I am or old as
Jason's 33, so he has 33 years worth of testimony. And we want you to come on and share your testimony. We want you to testify and not test a lie. That means you have already passed that test. If you're still in the midst of something, you're not quite through with your testimony. But there's some other things that you've overcome and that you've seen, and that your testimony will be a blessing to other folks. All right, we'll be right back after this commercial.
Let's read and learn together. Meet Mason. Written by Sherry Tate. Illustrated by David. Mason is a young, inspired learner. Walk with him as he uses his 5 senses to explore the world around him. Your young one can learn to identify shapes, numbers, letters, and more with Meet Mason. Available now on Amazon.com.
All right, we are back live on the Proven Wrong Show. I'm here with my guest, Jason Hathorn. Listen, get that Earth Blend coffee. That commercial right there, if you wasn't a coffee drinker, that commercial make you want to at least try a cup of coffee. The way that lady was holding that cup with 2 hands, it just easing it. Oh, that make you want to try some coffee, because coffee gets you warm. I'm a big coffee drinker. I love coffee, and Earth Blend is some good coffee, so y'all check that out. And don't forget, if you have young people, get that book. Again, I think I said on my last show, I heard somebody on Facebook said the difference between, this guy, it was an Asian brother, he said he gave the top 5 differences between wealthy people and poor people. And the one that stuck out to me the most, he said, wealthy people read books, poor people watch TV. And I was like, oh my goodness, I started reading more that day. I like TV shows, but I like wealth a whole lot better. So if I'm going to get it out of a book, I'm going to start back reading a whole lot more. So, hey, listen, we got a caller on the line right now. Come on, caller. Who is this?
Hey, Mr. Gore. Hey, Jason. This is Tip Fire, you know.
All right. What's going on, Tim?
I'm doing good. How you doing, Jason? Long time. Man, I ain't seen you in a long time. You used to be in my camp in camp.
What's up,
man?
I'm
doing good. I want to say a comment about Jason. Like your testimony was good. You know, what you said was like you want to be a comedian. That's a good choice. You want to be a comedian, because I see a lot of young men and women want to be a comedy here in the state of Mississippi. That's what just just keep it as a good word, because man, looking forward to see you do comedy again.
Thank you, man. Long time no see. You doing all right?
I'm doing pretty good. Stay busy working.
And that's all we can do. That's all we doing is working.
So go ahead and repeat his question and then go ahead and answer. Thanks for calling in, Tim.
Bye.
All right. So go ahead and repeat Tim's question.
I didn't hear him. You heard him? What was the question?
Well, I heard him through your headphones. Mine wasn't working. But he had asked you a question about mentoring or something like that.
Oh man, I would love to. That's why it took me a while to tell out bipolar in my comedy, because like everybody else, I was worried about what people had to say about me. Mm-hmm. I think today's time we worry about fitting in and out external love instead of loving ourselves and accepting ourselves. So About mentoring, man, yeah, I would love to mentor somebody. I try all the time when I go to different comedy spots. I meet different comedians. I done read comedy books. I done went to comedy school. I always try to tell them, hey, man, pick up this book or pick up that book. So, yeah, real quick, I've always wanted to be a comedian, like always.
Well, that's the question I was going to lead into.
Okay. I'm sorry.
After the commercial. But no, we talked about it offline, but yeah, when did you decide to go into comedy? And you said you've always wanted to be a comedian, but when did you make that decision to go into comedy?
It was funny. I've always wanted to do it since I was little. I've had dreams of me performing on stage and making people laugh. It's a funny story. Me and a friend of mine from the prison, we would always talk on the phone. We always laugh. We have a good time. I laugh at him. He'll laugh at me. I said, man,
Is he a fellow employee or inmate?
That was so
I'm hoping he was a fellow employee, but you said a friend of mine from the prison, so that could go either way.
You're good, Mr. G. You're good. You got a career. He's a fellow employee. He's not. He don't work there no more.
I got you.
But he's a fellow employee, and man, I was so sick of that job. I was like, look here, man. And he's former military, and he was telling me about the military. I said, man, look here. I'm either going to the military or I'm gonna try this comedy thing. So we was on the phone, and I was like, man, you funny, I'm funny. I tell you what, I make you a deal. If you go do a open mic, I do open mic. So we both agreed, and I looked up a comedy club in Jackson, Mike Town Comedy Club. Shout out to Mike Town. And I went to perform in front of Mike Town. My friend kind of chickened out. He kind of did his over the phone. And so he chickened out on the show. Mike said he wasn't funny or something like that. So I went to Mike and I did in front of him and his brother. And I said something that was really funny. So he put me on. So, funny thing. I'm just going to be real. A lot of people showed up to my first show thinking I was going to bomb. So I get to my first show. And I'm nervous. I'm like, so I get him this veteran comedian. And I'm like, what do I do? He was like, man, just have fun. So what I did was I went up there and I just had fun. And a lot of people laughed and they was like, man, like I was pleasantly surprised. Like I didn't know you had it like that you can be funny. And I've been doing it for 4.5, almost 5 years now.
So how far after that? Because my wife and I came to see you at Mike Town. So was that your second show that we came to, or was that your first show?
That wasn't my first show. That was like, I think my second or third show. Yeah. And funny story about with that, you was coming, and I was like, man, Mr. G coming, I can't cuss. I was like, Mr. G coming, I can't cuss. So I was like racking my brain. I was all in my head about not cussing and this, that, and the third. So, and then we had a talk and you was like, look here, man, just be yourself, man. God made you, man. He don't think because you use a couple words that you don't believe in him and stuff. And that's what's funny. My therapist, she calls herself a cussing Christian. So I be in therapy and I be letting it fly. I just don't be going like all out with it. But I let it fly and she be like, she still believes in God and God created us and she don't think words is like,
Right. Dr. Perkins has mentored me for years and Dr. Perkins is highly respected, loves the Lord, civil rights legend, world changer, author, all that. And so we would have Bible study and we're talking and we're chopping it up, myself, Marshall and Ronnie and some other guy, and he would cuss. And we was like, I remember the first time I heard him cuss, I was like, oh Lord. And then what he taught us though, and then sometimes his wife would hear him in the next room, she would say, you don't have to talk like that. You ain't gotta use. And then he said, Mama don't like me. Mama don't like it when I do that. But what he taught us was that you can love the Lord. You can know the word. And he said, sometimes your regular words ain't strong enough. He said, sometimes your regular words ain't just strong enough. They don't communicate the effect that you want or the feeling that you want. And so I'm not giving you the green light to keep cussing in your comedy, because I do believe you can be funny and not cuss, but I also believe you can be you and God gonna love you because he created you. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And as you evolve, as you go, you gonna do your thing. You know, I've seen it. I've watched you. I've seen your clips. I've seen, you know, you take constructive criticism well. You have to have that in order to, in my opinion, to do well in comedy. And I've seen you progress and constantly go up. As I watch your video, we was watching one of your stand up shows that you did in Hattiesburg recently, and I can tell you're more comfortable on stage than you were that night. I knew you were nervous that night that I came to see you,
Mr. G. Oh my God, I was so nervous. I was like, I can't cuss, because that was when I was raw. Like, that was before comedy school, because comedy school I got taught clean comedy, so I know how to do both. But I was so nervous. I said, Mr. G coming, I can't cuss, and I was like, Mr. G coming, I gotta be funny, I gotta be whatever. And I learned, not just in life, expectations. Expectations will kill you. It's best to just be yourself. Just do, like, I'm naturally funny, so I don't really have to put nothing on it, but expectations get me every time.
And even in marriage, we talk about unagreed upon expectations. You know, that's what will get you in trouble. Unagreed upon expectations. So I could expect certain things as a husband, but if my wife hadn't agreed with me, that's gonna cause some problems. She could have some expectations of me, and if I don't agree with it, that's gonna cause some problems. So it's unagreed upon expectations. You know, it's okay to expect certain things from each other when we agree on that. You know, she expect me to take the trash out. We agreed on that. You know, I expect her to cook. We agreed on that. But she expect me to take her out to dinner at least once a month, and she expect me to cook at least once a month. We agreed on that. You know what I'm saying? So it's fun, man. But those expectations will hurt you.
Yes, they will.
And others' expectations of Jason will become a problem, become a weight, become a burden. You know, the Bible says, lay aside every sin and weight that so easily besets you. Most of the time, as Christians, we just want to focus on the sin. What did it say? Lay aside every sin and weight. Other people's expectations could weigh you down. Lay that stuff aside. Just like you would lay aside your sin that you want to get rid of, and you trying to go up this way, but you know what's going, lay it aside. I'm going to lay aside your expectations too. If I hadn't agreed upon it, you ain't weighing me down. You see? And so that's the Jason Hathorn story. That's part of why you constantly proving folks wrong. You're doing a lot of good self-care.
Oh yes, sir.
You're trying to take care of you.
Yes. And in the past, I wasn't. I was trying to take care of everybody else. And like I said, and I wish I had it. I wish I had it all. I wish I could take care of everybody, but I just don't right now. And when I do, you know, I ain't saying I'm gonna give everything, but I'm gonna give something. I had a conversation with a friend. You talk about being a giver. And I believe we're put on this earth to give and to serve. I was talking to a friend, and she was like, you know, sometimes I don't pick up the phone for friends. And I feel like that's wrong. And now I understand you go through what you go through. And I understand you need time to yourself. But I'm talking about like an entire week. Like, you never know. I'm going to get into something, and I know it's gonna hit you because it hit me.
Come on.
You never know if that word might have stopped me from doing something, or might have put me in a different atmosphere. And the reason it hit me, and I don't know if you wanted to go here, but I'm gonna go here because it hit me. Skittles. So, you know what I mean? I still think about that. I still think about, like, what if I had to listen to him or had to been there or whatever? You know? Sometimes people just need, well, I can't speak for people. I can speak for me. Sometimes you just need somebody to know that somebody cares. That's why therapy is so important. It's like I know they're getting paid, but these people care. These people care, and you can be yourself. And I think that's the message that should be given out by the church and Christian people. That God loves you regardless. Like, you're not you to be evil. You're not you to be bad. You just all you know. And when you learn better, you do better.
You're supposed to.
You're supposed to.
When you learn better, you're supposed to do better. You know, and that's so true, man. And I'm glad you keep talking about therapy, because in the black community,
Woo,
man, we think we ain't supposed to go to therapy.
Oh, you crazy.
Oh, you crazy. You know, what you mean you going? Man, I went to therapy more than once. You know, but I enjoyed it because, like I said, it was about taking care of me.
Exactly.
You know, I went the first time. My regional director sent me. That was after my divorce.
Okay.
And it was a blessing for me. You know, and then the next time I went, my wife told me I needed to go. And I went because she told me to go. And but then after I kept going, then it became for me. I wanted to go. I was ready to give my money away because it was helping me. You see what I'm saying? And
it worked for you.
And it worked for me. It got me to the point to recognize what my triggers were, to recognize why I did the things that I did, why I did the choices that I did. And so, and I tell folks in you know, barbershop in our culture, our therapist is the barbershop.
Oh man, we just be quiet and cut my hair.
Yeah.
Just cut my hair.
Or for some people, it's the bartender at the bar.
Yeah. They
go and they sit and they drink and they talk to the bartender about their problem. But the bartender is not a professional.
And the bartender don't care.
And the barber is not a trained, licensed therapist. So I went today to a chiropractor, you know, because I was having problems with my back. So I went and got an adjustment. My neck, back, shoulder, he went all the way down. You know?
I need to go try that.
But you know what? Trained professional. I'm not gonna go to somebody that work in Lowe's and say, "Hey, can you pop my neck?"
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? He's not a trained professional.
And the funny thing you talk about going to barbers and one of the bartenders is a person's gonna give you their perspective. And guess what? We're all different. What works for you may not work for me.
Right.
Well, now it's a good chance it may not. It might. But most of the time, you got to do what works for you. I got a supervisor who said, I don't believe in therapy. And I say, you know, I used to let that influence me. I say, you know what? It worked for me, man. And I'm going to keep going. Yeah. And I've been getting better and better with my self-care because I go.
Exactly. And so, let's get back to your comedy, man.
Okay.
Who's your favorite comedian? Talk to me.
Oh, my God. That is...
If you only had to, you gotta pick one. I know everybody say I can't pick one, but
can I pick five?
Give me your top five and then give me your number one.
My number one is Dave Chappelle.
No, you supposed to do that last.
Oh, okay. Go. Bruce.
Bruce.
Uh-huh.
Is Bruce still living?
Yeah. I
hadn't heard.
Man, he's still doing. He like underground, so to speak.
Oh, okay. I'm like, Crawford took his spot. Bruce used to be the
man.
The big, you know.
Man, I've seen Lavelle Crawford. He's funny, but listen, Bruce was like, I was eating donuts from Krispy Kremes. They were hot. He was like, you supposed to watch what you eat. I was looking at all my food, don't you? That was so
funny. But Bruce is funny, and he was like known as
hilarious,
the big guy. Yeah. You know. And then Lavelle Crawford came on, who was fatter than Bruce.
Yeah.
But Lavelle Crawford had lost a lot of weight. And so he kind of took that slot from Bruce. The heavyweight comedian.
Man,
so who's number four?
Number four, see, it's not really no order. I guess to say Mr. TK.
Oh yeah,
Mr. TK. Mr. TK so nice.
Raised you.
I don't want to tell Mr. TK's business, but I got in contact with him. He had me. I came out to his show in Atlanta. Great person, funny as hell.
Yeah, he's funny.
Listen, Mr. TK.
So you got Bruce, TK,
Ali Sadiq.
All right.
Have you ever heard of Ali Sadiq? Ali Sadiq is hilarious. His storytelling, it makes sense. It's relatable. Who's number two? Who's number two? That's a good question.
You got Bruce, TK, Ali Sadiq.
Sadiq,
yeah. Sadiq.
Number two has got to be Richard Pryor.
Okay. What?
It's got to be Richard Pryor.
You got Richard Pryor number 2?
Richard Pryor's got to be number 2.
And Dave Chappelle number 1. Wow.
Dave Chappelle, I have never, and I rate these, my top 5 are off. I have never seen, I don't think any of those people, I've never seen any of their specials and not laugh. If some people I've seen their stuff, and I'm like, they must have had off night. But those 5, every one of them, I have laughed at their special, especially Bruce. Now, you brought up something I have to clear up. Calling my mama a gold digger. Now, the reason I said
I didn't do it. You did.
Okay. The reason I said that is because I met a cousin of mine, right? I met a cousin. She walked up and said, hey, I'm your cousin. Let me tell you something about your mom. Tell you something. She gonna get her way. She gonna do whatever she want to do. And let me tell you, if she messes with somebody, they not broke. They got some money. So she was like, I ain't saying she, but she ain't messing with no broke. You know what I'm saying? So that's where that joke came from. Yeah. That's what my cousin said. So I think it was her cousin. Yeah, so that's where the joke came from. It's a joke. Apparently it has some truth behind it, which makes it funny. The truthful stuff makes it funny. Like when I said the joke about, the guy is a good guy, but he may be cockeyed, and I do my eyes like that because my eyes kind of cock a little bit. It's a joke, but it got some funniness to it. A woman that take a good cockeyed man versus Bishop Match done one that look good, they ain't worth nothing. They're playing PlayStation all day. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's what, we can talk a little bit about that. We got 2 minutes before the break. Okay. But that's what used to happen, where a woman would take a man who may not be the most handsome guy, but he was a hard worker, provider, and treated her like a queen. But we've seen a lot of shift in our community where women are taking dudes that will play video games, half work, not any kind of example for the children. Yeah. And put up with all of that because of whatever reason. Because of whatever reason. A lot of it because, I think it goes back to I need a soldier when instead of a me, you know what I mean? That song back then, I want a thug, want a soldier, oh my goodness, where did we go wrong?
It goes back to, well, for me, I can only speak for me. Yep. I've always wanted love and acceptance. And I think I'm willing to bet that all people wanted love and acceptance too. So they look at these people, these celebrities, and they're selling a product. They're selling you this, but people love and admire them. So, I want to be loved and admired like Beyonce now when they said soldier. I want to be like Cardi B. So they adopted these philosophies that's not even theirs. But they want to be loved and accepted. So if they got this type of dude that look this type of way, it don't matter what's going on. He look like this. He's they actually, I think they adopted philosophy of dudes. They need eye candy. That's a dude thing. You know what I mean? So they like, let me get this roughneck, this, that, and the third, so I can show my friend.
Roughneck. I want a roughneck. Okay. All right. But the brothers like yourself, let's go there. Well, we'll go there when we come back. We got how much time we got left? What time is it? We got one commercial coming up, and then I want to get into the Jason Hathorne love life. You brought it up, and we talking about it. Good brothers, hard worker, but still single.
Ain't that something?
So we're gonna talk about that and why that might be. And because I know you, like you said, want to be loved and accepted, but you're going to get that too. So why are you still single? Right after this commercial.
Let's read and learn together. Meet Mason. Written by Sherry Tate. Illustrated by David. Mason is a young, inspired learner. Walk with him as he uses his 5 senses to explore the world around him. your young one can learn to identify shapes, numbers, letters, and more with Meet Mason. Available now on Amazon.com.
The Mississippi Link is an African-American female-owned newspaper with a trusted voice that is highly respected throughout the city, state, and nation. Our motto, keepers of the knowledge for people who speak the truth, since 1993. Link significantly influences the thoughts, attitudes, and buying decisions of its readers. Call us at 601-368-8481 for your advertising needs. If you would like to receive a newspaper in the mail each week, our annual subscription is only $52 per year. That is only $1 per week for you to stay informed regarding many stories that you can only get in the Mississippi Link. Sign up today at themississippilink.com and click on Home Delivery.
All right, we're back. We're live once again on the Proven Wrong show. Hey, listen, I want to challenge my viewers out there to get that Mississippi Link. If you can't do the $52 a year, just do the once a week. Start there. But I want to challenge my listeners to start reading more. You know, just as I said earlier, that brother said, the difference between wealthy folks and poor people. Wealthy people read books. Poor people watch TV. So let's start reading more. And what a way to start than starting with the Mississippi Link. All right. And so we are back. We are back. This is our last segment with Brother Hathorne, Jason Hathorne, 33 years old. 33. Jesus was crucified and resurrected at 33.
Ain't that something?
Changed the world, man. And I think it's about time you get married and change somebody else's world. So we were talking before the commercial about how women are choosing these guys, and they're choosing the ones that are no good and looking right past the ones that would be good to them. They were looking right past the ones that would treat them like a queen, where you know you're a hardworking man, nice looking brother, you know, have overcome some things. None of us are perfect, but you want to be loved and give love. So what's been the hold up? What's been the hiccup? What's been the reason why Jason is still singing?
Well, I gotta start off by being honest about like what I want and what I like. Mm-hmm. Like my therapist said that. She said you long to be a great father. You long to have a woman that loves you and gets you, like unconditionally. So the hold up is a couple things. One, Barry, is where do you find such a woman? Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of women, like, they work and then they go home and go to sleep. You may catch them at a grocery store or whatever. Even that's intimidating. Walking up to women, and I got to bring this up in my stand-up, because walking up to women, man, it's no way. You got to put yourself all the way out there, Miss G. You got all the way. Look right here. You got to hang out on that ledge. You ever seen that where they put them in a chair and they hang them over the pool, and you got to say the word right? That's how they walking up to women. If you say the wrong thing, it's over with. So that's one thing, because it's like, if my perspective, I'm coming in the grocery store, I'm coming wherever, I don't want to be bothered. So it's like, man, I see a woman that's attractive. Okay, I'm gonna approach her. I always say, excuse me, how you doing? I've never been an ace shawty type dude, or oh no, I'm just straightforward, genuine. Right. And some women, have been so tired of brothers hollering, you know, what makes you different? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You got to show, but I like to come up with some comedy and say some, you know, blah, 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 something funny. I can't think of something funny I just said recently. Mm-hmm. But my criteria is like I don't want a woman with kids. Mm-hmm. I don't. I just want a woman that doesn't have kids. Like I don't have kids, and that's like somebody told me, "Well, you're gonna be single for a while." There's a lot of there's a lot of women out there with kids, but there are a lot of women without kids.
There are. I know one that's works with you that doesn't have any children. Mm-hmm. My niece, and I hope she's listening right now.
Oh, you hope? Okay. I hope she's listening. So I don't want a woman with kids, and I don't want a. I just want a woman that can, you know, love me for me, and it's, you know, on the grind, want more, you know, and going after it, like this ambitious. Like don't get me wrong, I don't want someone that's just always on it, but have something about it. Like a lot of people say, I hear a lot of women say, well, I own this and I own that and I do this and I do that. And that's fine if you know how to turn it off. Sometimes you don't know how to turn off that alpha. Right. You know, I think if she ain't your wife running some things. She is. So, you know, when I get home, I want something soft. I don't want nothing hard. Right. I've been battling in these streets all day. I ain't trying to come home. I
have to remind her sometimes.
I already know.
I had to say, whoa, wait a minute. I'm not your employee. I don't work for you. And so, you know, we have to get to some, you know, an understanding. Yeah. Because she's a boss. You know? Exactly. She's not my boss. And I told her, I said, you a boss, baby. You a boss. You a baller. Yeah. And she had to say, what's a boss? You know, I had to help her understand. I said, no, you running things. You got your stuff. You know what it is you want to go. And you doing it. But at the same time, she respects me as her husband. She respects me as the man of the house, the priest of the house, the provider, the protector, because that's who I am. Yeah. You know, but I'm not cutting her short because I want her to go after the things, but after the things she wants. But you got to have a priority. You got to have it prioritized.
And then I like to say I'm old fashioned like this. I don't want a tit for tat relationship. Right. Yeah, I did this, so you gonna do that, or you did this. Nah, that's not what I want. Because me, I'm gonna be real, man. And my friends, they laughed at me the other day. They said, "Man, you actually looking for a relationship?" I'm like, "Yeah, man. I'm actually looking for somebody I can grow with, somebody I can go out to dates with, somebody who when I'm doing me, you know, being charismatic and being funny, that's my man right there. Oh, he went there. And she'll laugh, or I tell her jokes and she'll be like, maybe you need to do that. Or maybe I like that joke, but maybe it's a little too hard. Maybe say it like this." So that type of woman,
you want to be able to support each other's goals.
Exactly, support each other's goals. And I really hate that tit for tat thing. Yeah. I hate it that because I did something that made you mad, now you gotta do something to make me mad. I hate that because I didn't do anything to make you mad.
But that's not real love anyway, because
that's what I'm saying.
Love doesn't keep a record of wrong, according to what the Bible says. It doesn't keep a record of wrong. You know what I'm saying? Love doesn't seek evil; it seeks the betterment of the other person. So part of the issue is, especially in this younger generation, your generation, y'all have lost the true meaning of what love is. And so you have to go back to the original and go back to the original version. And then you find out too many young people want to actually go to what the Bible says. Well, how we know that ain't right? How we know that ain't? And so they want to do their own thing and not do God's thing. You can't expect, I tell my children, you can't expect to get my best coming at me your way. If you want my best, you got to come at me my way. Same way with God, as our Heavenly Father. If we want God's best, we got to do things God's way. I can't expect to get God's best if I don't want to do God's way. You know what I'm saying? That just don't even make sense. Yeah. And so, as it relates to marriage and love and finding that helpmate that you want, got to do it God's way. You know, and so you got to be looking for that person. You know, you ain't gonna find that person. My wife and I were introduced by my cousin. You know, my cousin introduced me to her. My cousin was one of her closest friends, and so introducing. I believe in matchmaking. You know, I do. So I hope my niece is listening. Or anybody else that's interested, that's 33. What's your age bracket, man? We're going to get you. What's your age range? You 33, so how old does a young lady need to be?
I think 25 a little low, but at least 25.
25 to what?
25 to...
You looking for a cougar? I know you don't
Nah, I don't want to.
Because you say you want children.
Yeah, 25 to, I think, about 32 of my age. That's fine.
We going 25 to 35.
25 to 35?
Yep. That's a nice age.
No, I mean, I ain't got no problem with it, but
that's a
I'm
nice
just
age
going
bracket.
with science and,
Nice
don't want no problem with the
25 to
kid.
35. Because at 35, she can still have children.
Okay.
At 35, she's probably career settled, knowing what it is she want to do. She ain't still jumping around to different jobs by the time she's 35. So I would say 25 to 35.
Well, I'm cool with that. The only reason I kind of cut it off at my age was because I just don't want like a pregnancy, like have a rough type pregnancy or something.
Man, my buddy, his wife is 40 something and just had a baby.
Okay, well, it's cool. That's why I was thinking. That's why I was telling people. I was like, how is it?
I was asking him, dude. I called him Sarah and Abraham now because they both. Like, dude, you about 50, almost 50 years old, and his daughter is 16. Now they just had a new baby. Now they got a 3-month-old.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
That's a gap for them, But he works out. He's in good shape. The wife, praise God, they got through the pregnancy. They had a healthy baby, and so hey, they doing their thing. At an old age, I told her, I said, man, you gonna have to stay in the gym by the time that baby get to graduation.
Yeah,
you gonna be in your late 60s.
Yeah,
by the time that child graduate high school.
Well, that'll work.
Not late. He probably be in his mid 60s.
I be telling folks, I be like, man, how do y'all say y'all follow the Bible, but you limit yourself by what the world says?
Yeah, man.
I don't understand it.
That's a good one. Right there.
I don't understand it.
That's a good one.
When do you have faith? And most time people have faith when it's comfortable. Mm-hmm. When it's comfortable and you feel safe and secure, but you're really never safe and secure because you don't know what tomorrow or the next hour may bring.
Right. Yep. And the word says all things work together for the good of them that love the Lord and are called according to the purpose. Not some things, not the good things. It says all things. That means car wreck. That means car breakdown. That means get fired from a job. That means whatever. All means all. Yeah. But like you said, where does your faith really come in? If you really believe in the Lord, when the bad stuff happens, pray for it. Pray it don't happen. But if it does, all means all. And it's going to work together for your good. We started this segment off. We started the show off talking about Joseph. Yeah. Joseph, 17-year-old, but it took 20 years before his dream came to reality. And he went through some stuff.
Ooh,
you know what I'm saying? He went through some stuff. But in the end, the Bible says he changed the whole community. You've gone through some stuff. You're 33.
Some stuff.
And
no, man, still.
But man, your future is bright. I'm proud of you. Can't wait to get that wedding invitation and come to another one of your shows. So I want to thank you for coming on the show.
Okay,
any final words you want to share before we sign off? According to the producer, we got 4 minutes, but according to this clock, it's 8:02. So go ahead.
Well, before I like to, of course, plug myself.
Do that.
TikTok is Jason_Hathorn. That's HATHORN. It's the Jason Hathorn, like the _Jason_Hathorn on Instagram. It's Jason Hathorn on Facebook. I also have a page on Facebook, Jason Hathorn. On YouTube, it's Jason Hathorn. What else am I? I think I said everything because I'm everywhere. I've learned, especially in this business, like this right here with cameras and audio, you always got to have multiple because something may malfunction or you may reach an audience. I got a lot of people that say they're not on Facebook. So I always say, well, I got YouTube. Everybody watches YouTube or has the capability of watching. So I just want to plug myself. Don't know what my next show going to be. I know I do a open mic all the time in Hattiesburg on Thursdays. I think it's at 8. I can tell you the address. It's 301 Mobile Street. So I'll be frequenting there, and when we have a show, I'll let you know. Somebody actually said I need to rent out a place and do a show, and I'm thinking about doing that. And like I said, I love to laugh. I love to laugh, have a good time. So that's what that comedy thing was. But I love for people to have a good time.
Right.
So when I want to do a show, I want to put my own spin on it. You know. And then somebody said, like, I think my therapist told me this. Like, what makes you different? What makes you different? Like, everybody does, but what makes you different? What makes me different is me. You know. And one quick thing I wanted to hit on too. My therapist was talking about abundance philosophy. If you
abundance
philosophy. If you go through life with scarcity, worried about not spending this, worried about not spending that, and worried about not doing that, you don't truly live. But when you have abundance philosophy, you believe that everything's gonna work out to the good. So you be yourself. So,
amen. Abundance philosophy. Abundance philosophy. Y'all heard that from Jason Hathorne? Go out and get yours. That's what I'm gonna tell you. Go out and get yours. Have an abundance philosophy. Believe in yourself. Know that all things really will work out for your good if you love the Lord and are called according to His purpose. We got to be doing it according to His purpose. You know, one of the favorite scriptures that I share with young people says in Jeremiah 29:11, I know the thoughts and the plans I have for you, says the Lord. Thoughts to prosper you, to give you a hope and a future, not to harm you. But the key to that is God knows the thoughts and the plans that He has for you. How you going to find them out?
Do living, I guess.
No, you got to go to Him to find out.
Oh.
If I know the thoughts and the plans I have for Jason, the only way you're going to know these thoughts is to ask me. You're going to have to come spend time with me and say, man, what's the thought? What do you think about me? Whatever. So it's the same way with God. In order to find out the thoughts and the plans that He has for you, you got to go to Him and say, God, look, I've been trying to do this thing and it's not working out for me. So what is it? In other words, everybody want to know what's their purpose. And we all have a purpose. And it's not until you get with God that you're going to find out what your true purpose is. And when you do, it's smooth sailing after that. I make this look easy. You know why?
Yeah.
I'm in my purpose. I make working with young people look easy. It's not easy. Everybody can't do it. But I make it look easy because I'm in my purpose. I surrendered my own will. I wanted to be a police officer. God said no. God said no. And when I surrendered what I wanted, to say, okay, Lord, okay, you know better. You know what's best. And once I surrendered, man, I got in my purpose. And when I get up every day, it's not like I'm even going to work. Magic Johnson said, if I can't believe I get paid for doing what I would do for free, because he loved basketball so much. When he played for the Lakers, that was a Magic Johnson quote. I can't believe I get paid for what I do for free. That's my same philosophy for working with teenagers, doing Young Life. I'm still blown away that I get paid to do this because I was doing it for free before I started. God bless y'all. Listen, see us next week. Prove 'em Wrong show. All right, we out.
Every child of God has his season. Right about now, it's all
Yo, check it. It seems as if just yesterday I was